Hey guys, Romie Reviews here. Young love in the air. And this time around, it's Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson. They're engaged. Now let's break this down a little bit. So, first, congratulations. We are so happy for the two of you. I mean, your Instagram stories and pictures are goals. But let's get to what you're really here for. Supposedly, allegedly, somehow, this relationship within the past 3 to possibly 4 weeks went from, oh, we cool, to, oh my God, I love you so much, to, let's get married. When I tell you, I was on Twitter, it was towards the end of the workday, so why not? I was on Twitter looking at this stuff, looking at, okay, Ariana Grande has her, the light is coming, that song, and we're going to talk about that and how that fits in here. But she has a song with Nicki Minaj named Bed coming out this Friday, or no, this Thursday. I'm thinking, oh, interesting pictures. And then I see something. I'm thinking, what tweet is this? And the tweet essentially just said, what did it say? I love you? Or something to that effect. I'm thinking, no, wait a minute now. Next thing I know, I see on every news outlet, which means that this was coordinated. So Ariana Grande, she has a bunch of music coming out. The album's coming out within the next 2 months or so. But this week in particular, she's been doing a lot of stuff with Nicki Minaj, the music videos, all of that, because they're in the same label, they're really close friends, and they have music coming out together. So I said, makes sense. But the next thing I see is a tweet from her, and it essentially says, what, I love you, and then with the monkey covering its face emoji. I'm thinking, oh, okay, so that's either to her fans for all the wavering support or to her dude. So great, perfect, right? Next thing I know, I'm seeing, why is she trending separately out of all the other stuff that's going on today? That's when I find out all the media outlets magically had this information at the same time, which I means press release. Now Ariana Grande is engaged to Pete Davidson. First, for those of you who don't know who he is an actor, comedian. Most notably recently was him being on Saturday Night Live. And he is funny. But it's interesting because we're going to talk about the parallels. So Mac Miller was dating Ariana Grande for a nice minute. Then they broke up earlier this year. And I'm sure this is one of those things where, okay, we're still cool. We're still trying to see where this thing goes. We're not making our it's over with breakup public yet. I really want to know, how do celebrities coordinate this? How do we agree, okay, we need to let our fans know that we're together. Okay, now we need to let our fans know that we're not together anymore. Okay, but we need to do it this way. We need to do it that way. Because the reports are saying that she's been with Pete for a couple of weeks. The reports are saying that she broke up with Mac Miller a month ago. I'm saying I'm not stupid. It's one of two things. One, there was a situation where the relationship was already basically over, and so she's over here like, oh, I'm single, I'm just not ready to let the world know yet. And it could be the other, the relationship is basically over, but we're still kind of together, but this person over here, he's cool and he has some common sense. Let me talk to him. Oh, now we're done? Okay, now you can come in. This happens all the time, people. This happens all the time. And I just find it really interesting with her snippet for the song, The Light, because the timing of it all is very interesting, because her second single, which is going to be The Light, is coming. Well, I don't know if you're going to call it featuring Nicki Minaj or with Nicki Minaj, because, nowadays people don't like to put the featuring if their friends are close with the other artist. But in the lyrics, because she performed it, or performed part of it, it sounded like, And one, it sounded like, okay, went through a lot, and the light's coming, and it's getting back everything in the darkness stole. But now that we know that she was with Mac Miller for a certain period of time, broke up, and then it was official with Pete because, again, I was looking at their Instagrams thinking, this is way too much content for people that just met each other yesterday. Yes, I know that can happen when you're in love and stuff, but no, this, all of this in the professional picture, no, this feels like a rollout. This feels like a relationship rollout that was just waiting to be rolled out. That's what I was thinking the entire time. And now with this single coming out, essentially, coming, and she acknowledged once Ariana, when some fans were going at her because they love Mac Miller, and they felt like, oh, how dare she do this to him, and he's going to spiral because, as we know, still has substance abuse issues. So that's when she went on social media, essentially said, I'm not going to go and be in a relationship that's not filling me, that's draining, that's, let's say emotionally or mentally abusive, whatever it was. And so for her to say that and publicize that and then put out a second single called The Light Is Coming, and her to be with Pete, with PED, and then now to be engaged, I said, come on now. You just have to weave all these things together. Sometimes you just have to go and just look at things from a certain perspective and say, connect the dot here, connect the dot there, connect the dot everywhere. And I sure did. So now with this happening, now this is even more attention, affection. Again, I'm not saying that they're not in love. That's not what this is about, because I do believe that they're in love. I believe they actually like each other, which is great, which is important, because that's half the battle when you're in a relationship. It really is half the battle. But the timing of this is just, uncanny. Let's see, was there anything else that I wanted to mention about Ariana, about the singles, about Pete? Here we go. I just know some ignorant people are gonna go and say, they're gonna say, watch, now we expect some fire from, Mac Miller going at that relationship, because it's just interesting that Pete also, dealt with substance abuse. Pete has also dealt with, apparently he has borderline behavior bipolar, which essentially means that it's probably one of those things where, depending on his emotional state, determines if it can trigger. It's not just, okay, it just happens, and unless you're on medication, different lifestyle, you can't control it, type of thing, like other people do. Because there's different levels, different categories, different stages to these different mental illnesses. So Ariana Grande has absolutely no issue, dealing with a real person, a person who has struggles. But I believe it was last year or so that he really was trying to change the directory of his life and his lifestyle. So I'm assuming he's still sober, because I can't see her going from Mac to Pete, these one-syllable names, from Mac to Pete, and dealing with the same stuff, because that's too much. There's a huge difference between trying to help someone out and get them better and them not wanting to get better. Or maybe it's just being too difficult. Because I don't believe that, if you have a good relationship or you have someone that you really want to be with, that you're just going to intentionally mess that up. I definitely believe that there's more to it psychologically than that. So I'm not going to put that on, what's the man's name? Mac. But shout out to Ariana. Shout out to Pete. I don't care if it lasts or not. That's not what's important. All that matters is I want them to be happy. Summertime, love, positive energies, great album coming from her. I want to hear the vocals. I want the second single. I want a very happy and joyous album rollout, and just happy people, positivity, love. That's all I care about with those two. If some mess comes out of it, some mess comes out of it. But that's not what I want. Because can someone, at least in the celebrity world, be happy that's popular? I mean, that's possible, right? Right? So that's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Again, if you're a first-time viewer, please just put a comment in there. Let me know what you thought of this video. What do you think about the time frames? What do you think about the rollout? Are you a fan of either? Do you listen or watch any of their content? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Give me a thumbs down if you hate everything I said. I don't care. I'm still doing this anyway. All right.